I'm Jared Haynes, and this is Rogue Outdoors. Today I'm excited to talk to you about the CZ457 Chassis Edition. Out of all the 22 long rifles that I have tested, this is going to be one of the most accurate straight out of the box. You don't have to do anything to this, and it's going to be a performer all the way out to 300 yards. This barrel and bolt combination works amazing. It's extremely smooth on the bolt throw, and you can get really tight groupings with ammo that doesn't break the bank if you're running things like the CCI standard velocity or the quiet semi 22. Now, real quick note, the standard velocity, you're getting 1,070 feet per second, and with a suppressor on, as you'll see in just a little bit when we go out to shoot, it's still really quiet, but if you want just absolute, all you hear is the firing pin once you throw a suppressor on there. Go with the quiet 22, and then I prefer the semi-auto, and it gives a little bit more consistent results I've found. And you're shooting 835 feet per second. You will literally just hear the firing pin when you shoot with that ammo. Now, I do want to touch on price for just a second. This model is a 2-year-old CZ457 chassis edition. So the newer one comes with an MDT stock that's got Arca rail built into the front on it already. So the price has changed a little bit from when I bought this. So I'm going to quote the new pricing, which is close to $1,900 for a 22 long rifle. However, if you want something that's in this form factor that you can use to either train like a larger caliber rifle with a chassis on it, or if you just want something that's extremely accurate and can varmint hunt out 300 yards, this is definitely a really good option to consider. It's got a really good trigger feel on it. If you see here, I should actually do it from the back, there is very, very little take up, and then it's just a crisp break, very little movement, which is nice. I'm a fan of single stage triggers, and so this gives me a really good feel at that wall to be able to just pull through and practice that trigger pull. I also like that you have the AR style buffer tube back here so that you can adjust this for kids or whatever length you want for a length of pull, and get this nice and set up. And then having mine be M-lock down the front, and so is the new chassis, I can throw on things like this Magpul bipod and be able to level out the gun and do all that kind of stuff. I found it teams up well with the HUXWRX Rad22 suppressor on the end. It's a flow-through technology, and when you're shooting 22 long rifle, that flow-through helps get a little bit of those gases out so that you're not having to clean as often. I mean, you still have to clean in 22 long rifle because it's pretty dirty ammo, but this bolt seems to run better and cycle longer having the flow through, as where if I've run other suppressors, I've found that the bolt starts to grime up a little bit quicker. So that's definitely nice. Ammo's so cheap that you can go out and really put a lot of rounds through this in a day, and it's nice to be able to just go out, shoot, not have to clean it all until after I get back. I have a few other suppressors that are 22 caliber that I've used on this, and I find that the bolt starts getting a little bit more grimy if I'm not using this Rad 22. Last couple things I want to touch on before we head outside is going to be the magazines. So you can purchase 10 round and I believe even bigger round magazines if your state allows it. I live in Washington, so 10 round is the max I can get at the moment anyways. And it comes with a 5 round that's about half this size, sits flush up into the gun. But the 10 rounders definitely make it a little bit more fun. You don't have to be reloading as much. They are a proprietary CZ magazine. And they're made out of plastic. They seem to be pretty strong and reliable, but they are a little bit more expensive than like the 1022 magazines or something like that. So just know you'll end up spending a tiny bit more. However, if you're buying a $1,800 22 long rifle, probably the cost on the magazines isn't the end of the world, but that is just one thing to note. So let's go ahead and head outside. We're going to shoot this thing at a group at 50. a group at 100, and then we're gonna push the distance a little bit and shoot some steel out a little bit farther. All right, we are out at the range. We're gonna be shooting 50 yards for our first group. This is gonna be with the CCI Quiet 22 semi-auto. I'm up 3.5 MOA. Seems I sighted this in at 25 yards. Let's go for that top right 10. Okay, so that's a pretty decent group. Now we're gonna put in some standard velocities, turn this thing back down. We're gonna shoot for the middle left 10. Got the CCI standard velocity loaded up now. Let's go ahead and shoot 50 yards again, middle left 10. We're gonna put this back at 0. Now this is not sighted in for this, so we're just gonna aim at it and then see what the group consistency is. I also want you to listen to the sound. So compared to the last one, which was Quiet 22, we're up a couple hundred feet per second. And with this Rad 22 suppressor, it's still gonna be really quiet. I believe I had one dud round in there, kind of sounded off, but that's what the groupings are looking like at 50 yards, just shooting off of a bag out here on pretty uneven ground. Let's move back to 100 and see what we're looking like back at 100. I am just gonna shoot that with the CCI Quiet 22, and then we're gonna move out to some long distance stuff. We're now back at 100 yards. As you can see, it's raining now, so I'm under the truck cover, and we're gonna be still using the Quiet 22 semi-auto. That's gonna put me about 15 MOA up. So let's go ahead and see what this group does. There's a little bit of wind at play, so I'm expecting it to widen up a little bit. So I'm pretty happy with that group. There's a couple out to the right. That square that's in there and the square in the previous shots, just for note, is a 1/4 of an inch. So that is leaving me with a pretty good group at 100 yards. I'm probably about an inch sized group. Now let's go ahead and throw some down at some steel. Due to it raining so hard, we're gonna stop at 206 yards. It's gonna be about 47.5 MOA. I've got 45 MOA of adjustment on the Viper PST where it's set for this 22. So that means I'm gonna be a couple hash marks down, and we have a pretty heavy left to right wind. So we're gonna see what we can do on this piece of steel with 5 shots. Really putting it to the test right here. Good hit. Good hit. That's a hit. Probably hard with all this rain for you to be able to hear it. That's a good hit. That one was a miss. So we went 4 for 5 at 206 yards in a heavy rain with a left to right wind. I'm holding off 2.5 MOA to the left. So I would say that's pretty impressive for that little tiny bullet to be going that far. And again, I'm using the quiet 22, which is 835 feet per second. So let's go ahead and head back inside and finish this video off. Quick size reference. Here's my hand, and that's the target we were shooting at, 206 yards. You can see my impacts right here over the fresh spray paint. Well, I hope you like this review on the CZ457 chassis edition that I have here. Just a couple closing thoughts. HUXWRX Rad 22 suppressor works amazing with the flow-through technology on it. The barrel, because it's 22 long rifle, even being suppressed, does not heat up unless, I mean, you were putting a ton of rounds through it. At the speed you can shoot and then have to reload the mags, this barrel doesn't ever seem to heat up. Extremely smooth bolt. I did change out this knob to the Area 419 bolt knob, and I absolutely love that thing. It gives really good purchase. The one that comes stock on it's just a smaller ball, and it's easier to slide off. Upgrading to the 10-round magazine over the 5, definitely a good thing to go with. And then on mine, I did not like the original butt pad that came on this, so I changed it out for just a basic AR style one. If you purchase one of these today, the MDT stock that comes on this has a much better butt stock, and I do not imagine I would end up changing that out. And then this pick rail that's up here is what I set on. This is the Area 419. It has a level here in the back of it so that you can level out the gun. Really smooth setup. Absolutely love how that worked. And then I'm running the Vortex Viper PST scope up top. So if you did like this review, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel for more content like this coming out soon. Thank you for watching.